All right, we're going to review unit rates and rate questions today to help us get ready for our Unit 3 test. There we go. In teacher number 1, we are shopping for glow sticks for a school dance, and we're trying to find the best deal. Okay, I want to highlight that phrase so we understand why I'm about to do the calculation I'm going to do. Right, we're trying to decide, should I go to Party Warehouse, where you can get 15 for $6.54, or go to Target, where you can get 12 for $4.89. Okay, because I'm looking for the best deal, I need to prove that mathematically. So what I'm going to do, okay, I want to compare the prices at both of these places, but the number that we are buying at each is different. So I'm going to calculate what the price of one glow stick would be at each place so I can then compare. If we're comparing price, it is helpful to set this up as a fraction where we have the dollar amount on top and we have the number of items on the bottom. Again, I'm going to try to find out how much it would cost for just one item. So, a fraction that are equivalent, we can multiply or divide. And in here, going from 12 to 1, we get there by dividing by 12. And so we will then also divide our dollar amount by 12. You can feel free to do this calculation right on our calculator. And when we talk about money, I'm just going to worry about here about these first two decimal places. 0.40 is fine for this problem. Then I'm going to deal with the other price. Okay, so it's important to keep these two separate because they're two different stores. So at our other store, we spend $54 for 15. And again, we're going to find out if we bought just one, how much it would cost. So dividing by 15 here to get 1, and then also dividing by 15 up top. So 6.54 divided by 15. And again, I'm only worrying about the first two digits here. Because I have found the unit rate, I can now compare and find the best deal. The best deal is the one that I'm spending less money per item. So over here, we're only spending 40 cents on one versus 43 cents. So we would say that this is the better deal. All right. Next topic we covered in Unit 3. Very similar to the first one. Now in this one, though, what I'm trying to identify is who is faster. Okay, so a comparison again between two different things. We're told a cheetah, and that's the cheetah one. And then we are also told information about a tiger. Okay, and we want to now compare these two. So don't confuse the numbers with the cheetah with the ones with the tiger. It might be helpful to just divide your workspace up. In keeping, again, the tiger I'll do over here, and the cheetah I'll do over here. So I'll set this up as a set of fractions again, and it might also be helpful in these problems to include a label. So 35 is representing meters, and 20 is representing seconds, and I want to compare how far they can go in just 1 second. Again, because these are equivalent, I now can multiply or divide. To go from 20 to 1, I would be dividing by 20 and repeating that step here. And make sure you're showing the work like this, but then you can do the division right on a calculator again, just like that. So the cheetah can go 1 75/100ths of a meter in 1 second. It's important to note when I look at the information for a tiger, I have meters, but then I have minutes. So I do want to convert my minutes into seconds because that's what my cheetah was given to me in. So 220 is fine to stay, but 3 minutes is going to total 180 seconds. 3 times 60 there. Right, and so now I have the same units. Again, let's find how far it can go in 1 second. And we're noticing a lot of unit rates require us to do some division. Repeating that step up here. Making sure you can see my work. 220 divided by 180. And I'm just going to go 2 decimal places, so 1.22 meters. Now on this one, to decide who is going faster, I'm going to choose the animal who goes a longer distance in the same amount of time. So the cheetah is able to go a longer or a more amount of meters, 1.75, versus the tiger who is 1.22. So I'm going to just go ahead and put a star to indicate that that animal is faster. All right, moving on to the next topic we covered. This is poorly worded, I'll cross that off. All right, number 3. The first thing I've noticed, so as I'm skimming the question, is in number 3, I don't have 2 rates. I am only told 1, and that's here. 480 copies in 4 minutes. So I already know I'm not comparing this to anything. But I am going to set this up in a similar way to the last 2. Using this rate, I'm going to now be able to tell you how many copies will be printed in 10 minutes. So again, I'm going to take the rate and write it in its fraction form. It's definitely helpful, again, to include a label. And so that's what we know. So that's going to be on one side. And so to figure out how many in 10 minutes, I'm going to set this equal to a fraction where I have 10 in the minutes place. So it's helpful, again, if I double check. Minutes is the number that goes on the bottom. So I'm going to make sure it goes here when I'm setting this problem up. And I don't know the number of copies, so I'll just leave a question mark. And so now I've got to figure out what am I doing to my original rate to now end up with 10 minutes. So looking at my denominator 4, what am I doing to go to 10? Okay, so 4 times something will give me 10. If you're not sure what you're multiplying it by, we can do the opposite operation. And if I did 10 divided by 4, that will actually tell me what I am multiplying by. So let's do that. 10 divided by 4 is 2.5. So if I multiplied my denominators, I go ahead and now I know to get my question mark, I take the original amount and multiply it by 2.5. And now I can tell you that in 10 minutes, this copier would have 1,200 printed copies. Right. Last topic that we covered in this unit talks about unit conversions. So being able to go from a metric measurement into our US customary system of measurement. I want to know what is going to weigh more, a dog that is 30 pounds or a backpack that weighs 16 kilograms. I cannot compare these as is because, again, if I look at the 2 units, I have pounds and kilograms. So I'm going to have to change one of those. And I don't just do that by crossing it off and changing it. I'm going to do a metric conversion here. So I know, based on this first piece of information, that 1 kilogram is about 2.2 pounds. So I'm going to use that information to convert 16 kilograms. So I'll take my kilograms and I want to turn them into pounds so that I can then compare it to the dog's weight. So in order to do that, I got to go back to this piece of information. I do absolutely know that 1 kilogram goes with 2.2 pounds. And then I'm going to set that equivalent to, if I had 16 kilograms, how many pounds does that equal? Choosing to convert the backpack weight of kilograms is going to be the easiest choice because I'm going to go from 1 to 16. So I already can tell you 1 times 16 will get a total of 16 kilograms. So I repeat that step and multiply here as well. 16 times 2.2 . And so 16 kilograms is equal to 35.2 pounds. So now I can go back and let's compare. The dog weighed 30 pounds, and now instead of having kilograms for my backpack, I can say the backpack weighed 35.2 pounds. And now because they're both in pounds, I can put a greater than sign here because this number is larger than this number. Hopefully this helps you review some of those topics we talked about in Unit 3 and helps you prepare to be ready for tomorrow's Unit 3 test. Good luck.